Hello, good morning, my dear students. I am Venkat, Assistant Professor of Zoology. Welcome you for my Aniruddha tutorials. I started human physiology and first chapter digestion and absorption. In my previous classes, I discussed about the structural aspects of the alimentary canal, and in my today's class, I start discussing about the digestive glands. First of all, the salivary glands of man. Salivary glands. In man, there are three pairs of salivary glands are present. There are three pairs of salivary glands are present. Whereas in other mammals like rabbit, in rabbit, there are four pairs of salivary glands. There are four pairs of salivary glands are present in rabbit. Therefore, what are the salivary glands which are absent in man? Therefore, there are infraorbitals are absent. Infraorbital salivary glands are absent. In man. Whereas in the other mammals like rabbit, the infraorbitals are present. Below the eye orbits, a pair of the salivary glands are present, and they are absent in man. And now I am going to discuss about the three pairs of salivary glands in man. See this. For example, this is tongue. Tongue. There are a pair of salivary glands are present below the ear pinna on either side. These salivary glands are called as the parotid salivary glands. These are parotid glands. Below the ear pinna, on either side, and the parotid salivary glands are the largest salivary glands. Largest salivary glands. From the parotid glands, the ducts are formed. And the ducts are called as the Stenson's ducts. Stenson's ducts are formed from the parotids. They open into the buccal cavity. Stenson's ducts can be called as the parotid ducts. Parotid ducts. And the angle of the lower jaw there are a pair of salivary glands. These glands are named as submaxillary they can be called as the submandibular salivary glands. Submandibular glands. They are present at the angle of lower jaw. The angle of lower jaw. The ducts from the submaxillary are opening into the buccal cavity, and the ducts are called as the Wharton's ducts. Wharton's ducts. They carry saliva into the buccal cavity. Below the tongue, a pair of salivary glands are present. And these salivary glands are named as sublingual salivary glands. Sublingual salivary glands. A pair below the tongue. The many ducts are opening from the sublinguals. They open below they are present below the tongue, and ultimately they are opening into the buccal cavity, and the ducts are called as the ducts of Rivinus. Many ducts of Rivinus. Therefore, these are three pairs of the salivary glands: a pair below the ear pinna, a pair at the angle of the lower jaw, a pair below the tongue. Parotid salivary glands are the largest. The ducts are formed from the parotid circle as the Stenson's ducts, opening into the buccal cavity. The ducts that are formed from the submaxillary or submandibular are called as the Wharton's ducts, opening into the buccal cavity. The ducts of Rivinus or many ducts are opening from the sublingual salivary glands. They are ultimately opening into the buccal cavity. This is all about the structure of the salivary glands. And now, what are the various contents that are present in the saliva? Salivary contents, salivary juice. First of all, the pH of the saliva is 6.8. I mean, it is slightly acidic in nature. I repeat, slightly acidic. Slightly acidic in nature. Saliva contain water and also some electrolytes. Electrolytes are present in the saliva like sodium, potassium, chloride ions, bicarbonate ions are electrolytes. Saliva also contain very important enzyme in the salivary juice is called the salivary amylase. Salivary amylase. Salivary amylase can be called as ptyalin or ptyalin, or it can be called as the alpha amylase. Salivary amylase. Also, salivary juice contain one more enzyme is the lysozyme enzyme. Lysozyme enzyme, really, listen carefully. Lysozyme enzyme is not only released from the salivary glands, present in the tears, also from the skin, sweat glands. Wherever it is, lysozyme enzyme is always antibacterial in nature because that lies the cell wall of the bacteria When the cell wall of the bacteria is lysed or destroyed, bacterial death occurs. That is why this lysozyme enzyme is named as one antibacterial enzyme. That kills the bacteria, we get the immunity, lysozyme enzyme. And the saliva also contain one more enzyme is called the lingual lipase enzyme. Lingual lipase enzyme. Even though lingual lipase is secreted from the salivary glands, but this enzyme is not working in the buccal cavity. It cannot work. It cannot work in the buccal cavity because lipase is always this is an enzyme which is always working in the alkaline medium, but the saliva is acidic medium. Therefore, when this enzyme is present, even though this enzyme is present in the salivary juice, but this is not working because this enzyme works only in the alkaline medium. And this alkaline medium is present in the intestine. Lipase is present in the pancreatic juice, that is called the pancreatic lipase, intestinal lipase, and these lipases are working only in the alkaline medium. That is why even though lingual lipase is secreted, but is not working because of this medium pH is not suitable to work. And therefore, these are the various contents of the saliva. I repeat once again, salivary pH is 6.8, slightly acidic in nature. Saliva contains water, electrolytes like sodium, potassium, chloride ions, and HCO3, bicarbonate ions. Salivary amylase can be called the ptyalin or alpha amylase. Lysozyme enzyme is present that kills the bacteria because that lies the cell wall of the bacteria. That is why antibacterial enzyme. Lingual lipase also present in the saliva, but this is not working because lipase is working only in the alkaline medium. This is all about the salivary glands of man. I repeat once again, in the other mammals like a rabbit, there are 4 pairs of the salivary glands. The salivary glands which are absent in man are infraorbitals. They are present in the mammals, other mammals like the rabbit. Thank you for listening to my class. Thank you very much.